of guy. Fashioned himself one of those professional gumshoes, like in the serials. They usually work for the board, rooting out dissidents and the like. Lucky though, he was freelance. Worked for anyone who paid, no matter their allegiance. You ask me, I think the guy just likes snooping around in folks' terminal messages. No, but I'd wager Lex does a lot of weird shit she doesn't tell anyone about. That's the sublight way. Gotta say though, mailing a stranger some dead guy's arm probably tops the list. At least I'd hope so. Frenetic, chaotic, vicious, take your pick. I wasn't here at the start, but going off what folks told me about the early days, Gorgon started out with promise. The board's best and brightest were excited to work here, said it was a good posting. The project director had a vision and big, bold ideas. Nothing good lasts long in Halcyon. Thing is, the schedules coming out of the corporate office were unrealistic from the get-go, and they were trying to do the project on a shoestring budget. Couple that with the obvious personnel problems and toxic junk in the product, it was only a matter of time before it all went to hell. Could have been, yeah. Marauders didn't just fall out of the sky one day. They were made here on Gorgon. How, though? That's the question. Sprat Shack legend has it they crawled out of the mines one day. Heard one fella suggest they might even be aliens. I think Halcyon wants us dead. Look at Monarch. The planet's pure poison. Folks can't eat the food that grows on Terra 2 without getting sick. Who's to say it's not something in the dirt or the water? I don't have proof, mind. It's just a hunch. Shit, any number of things. Fire, primals, sabotage. It didn't happen all at once, but it happened fast enough folks couldn't respond in time. Now, if you're asking how it all kicked off, might have been spies that did it. Corporate espionage, you know. Anti-Cleos. I never did figure it out. Not about to try now. Adrenatime, I'm sure you know it, was a drug, something to make folks work harder, work smarter. Had a lot of nasty side effects. Didn't seem so bad to me at the time, but then I hadn't met the test subjects yet. The whole thing was real hush-hush. A lot of worry about corporate spies, especially from Anti-Cleos. I probably shouldn't even be mentioning it to you, to be honest. Spacer's Choice, they're really not fond of spies. Not much, except that there was a whole gaggle of them, and so far as I could tell, they absolutely hated each other. Dr. Ambrose would hardly let me speak to any of them, but she complained about him all the time. Everything seemed like. Marion Blakesley, for example, lady who ran HIA, wouldn't return any of her messages. Not once, for years. Jasper Lowe, guy who headed up Chem, was high more than he was sober. He insisted on running special tests on primals, too. Law knows what for. Dr. Ambrose really had it out for this guy Lawrence Goodfellow. Ran OCI. Would lose his shit if he saw red on a schedule. By the end, I heard folks were turning in completely bunk progress reports just to keep him out of their hair. Had this little minion, too, an actuary named Clarence Mosley, obsessed with quantifying every detail of his sad little life. Mosley was the guy who got me mixed up in all this. Asshole. I hope a primal ate him. Oh yeah, it wasn't just that Dr. Ambrose hated them. They seemed to hate each other, too. OCI pushed a ludicrous schedule. Chem made a bad product, and HIA returned garbage results. A regular merry-go-round of shit flying in every direction. It's no surprise it all fell apart.
The surprise is that it didn't happen sooner.
Mister, I'm not about to tell you how to do your job, but I ain't think that metaphor's fit to print.
Editor always did say my prose was a bit purple, or brown in this case.